What's up, guys? I'm here with Pono, the Hawaiian Assassin. Incredible guest. I'm super excited to dive into it, bro. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Bro, I'm doing good. Keeping the dream alive, you know.
Living the Vegas life.
Just trying to stay alive, stay out of the heat.
There you go.
Not getting slapped, bro. So I feel pretty.
That's always a good thing, right?
Yeah, maybe my wife if she gets upset, you know.
Right.
But I try to stay away.
That's how I trained for this.
That's how I got into it. But yeah, bro, I want to hear kind of how you got into it, where you got started, and how'd you end up here in Vegas? Bro?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Hawaii.
Okay.
I've been moved out to San Diego.
Nice.
Lived there for almost like 10 or 11 years.
No way.
And my brother has a background in MMA. He's done Bellator, LFA. He's fought in many different events. And I also have a friend I met around 2015, 2016, and his uncle aired on the very first season 1 Road to the Title.
No way.
And that was the real intro. It was knowing that he was going to be on an actual season. And then after the season, they gave him a live event. He was able to go out there and compete, did really well. And his nephew was in the background, my friend.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey man, can you do me a favor? Can you snap a picture of me while my uncle is walking out? I'll be out there holding up the Mexican flag in the background." And I snapped the picture, and then it clicked. I was like, "Wow, this guy's on TV. This is it. This is where we got to go with it."
Yeah.
So going back, my brother does MMA.
Yeah.
So he was making a transition from Arizona coming out to San Diego because he wanted to experience the MMA world out there.
Yeah.
And I was able to meet and show him some people that some good schools out there.
Yeah.
He had a couple fights, and from there I just told him, I was like, "Hey man, look, I don't like the fact that you get elbowed in the face and kicked and all these other things. It's like we got to go one-dimensional with this. Either do boxing or do something else."
Yeah.
He got into bare knuckle, signed a contract.
Oh, dude, that's brutal shit.
Brutal. But he did really well. His first match, he went out there and he starched the guy. He knocked him down.
Dude.
And that was it. From there, I was like, okay, let's stay one-dimensional. Decided to switch back and go back into MMA.
Yeah.
Got into a match against a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Got taken down in the first 20 seconds. Got choked out. I said, man, you know what? We got to make a transition now.
Yeah.
What about power slap? What do you think about that?
That's crazy.
He's like, I don't know if I would do that, and I'll just stick to bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Well, I went and I submitted an email after, obviously putting in my application with my friend being already on that road.
Yeah.
Submitted an application for myself, my friend did, for him, behind his back. And they called me back in like 3 days.
Way.
They sent me the email back in 3 days and was like, hey, we see that you're well decorated. You've been in Bellator.
Yeah.
It's like, we want to.
For your brother or for you?
For my brother.
Oh, okay.
I was impersonating him. Yeah. I told him, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's work this out. Let's see what you guys have to offer.
Yeah.
We're not going to do anything where you go on a season. It's like, we want to get you on a live event.
Yeah. Oh,
so
wow.
My brother was able
to...
Just
straight jumped?
Straight jump, yeah, because of his background.
Yeah.
So we jumped right into Power Slap 7. He was able to compete against Joseph Landman.
Dude.
And I went out there as his coach / manager / brother.
Yeah.
And I got to meet the matchmaker, Erica. I got to talk to all the people there, a lot of the strikers.
Yeah.
And they thought I was security in the very beginning. They're like, what are you doing in here? Are you a security guard? And I was like, no, that's my brother right there. He's competing on this card.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. And then I met the matchmaker, Erica, and she was like...
She's like, you got a thick neck. You'd be good for this.
It was so clean. She just was like, hey, so who do you know? Oh, that's my brother right there. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. You're the guy that he was talking about, which was actually me emailing her. Yeah. You're the guy that he was saying that he had a brother. Yeah, of course. we would look into it. We'll buy you. And I'm like, buy me? Are you serious? And he's like, yeah. It's like, you got the look.
Yeah.
You can talk.
Yeah.
It's like, why not? You're big. Let's see what you got. It's like, but let's see how your brother performs first. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Brother goes out there and he starches the guy.
Dude.
First hit, knockdown, put him out. And that was all she wrote.
No way.
Email came on Monday. Hey, we want you to be part of season 3, Road to the Title. We're just airing this one out. It's going to be in May for the first 2 weeks. It's like, come out and let's see what you can do.
That's crazy. What year was that?
This was just this past year.
Oh, no way. Like 24?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. And so have you like fought or like anything before, like outside of your brother stuff?
No, I have an MMA background. I mean, I've done kickboxing. I started off with 2 years of kickboxing. Yeah. Jumped into Muay Thai. Did Muay Thai for a while. But my biggest one was I used to run all the UFC gyms in San Diego. Yeah. So I started off with a very small 1,500, 2,000 square foot gym. jumped up. It was a franchise gym at that
Yeah.
time, and then they opened about 4 or 5 different locations. So
That's crazy.
I just stuck in the game. I was always with the around the MMA world and the UFC.
So is like training for this different than like any other type of MMA like training camps?
It's a rotational sport, so it's something where if you're looking at it from like a baseball aspect or even from like golfing, you got to build up your hips, you got to build up your base, you got to have a good strong back. These are things that no matter what sport you're in, you got to be physically fit for this. So that was the big transition. Was okay, well, it's just slapping people. Everybody's like, you're just delivering a slap. It's like, yeah, but even with a slap, you still have some kind of technique.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm the type of person that once I get into something or once I like something, I get really obsessed with it. So I start practicing. I start thinking of different ways. I think outside of the box.
Yeah.
I want to practice angles. I want to practice when you go out there and you slap somebody, they ask you before you slap them, hey, you're measuring. What are you going on? 1, 2, 3, and the max you can go in on is 3. So you got all these options to kind of look at it where, okay, do I slow ride it and then come with the hit? Do I pause out a little? Do I go just fast?
Yeah.
And it just opened up the doors for me to just start using this and thinking differently.
Man, that stuff is
turn it
brutal.
into an actual thing. But if you look at the sport from when it started, they were doing backyard things, like in a bar. Hey, you go against that guy, you're gonna slap him $200. Let's go. And, oh yeah, okay. People are drunk in the crowd, slacking the guy. Okay, send the guy home. He might have a concussion. You never know, but
man,
it gets crazy.
I went down like a rabbit hole with like just watching like slaps and stuff. Like I don't know what the league is called or whatever, but I've like just consumed so much that it looks so brutal, dude. Like, is there any like type of techniques that you train for to like take the slap?
So
or is that proprietary?
Defensive wise, the real thing is that you just got to have a chin. You're born with it or you're not.
Really?
Yeah, it's very hard. There's things that you can train. Obviously, doing like any kind of neck training, bracing. There's things that you can do. And now being in the sport for a little time, just under a year. I've learned a lot more from being on the season to where I am now currently. That there's a podium there.
Right.
Make 3 points of contact. Put your belly up against the podium. Put your feet down.
There's like points.
Keep solid to the ground. Use that 3 points of contact. Bracing wise, you can you have like a baton. They give you a baton to hold because you got to put your hands behind your back. You can the baton is actually meant for you to keep your shoulders down because they want you to give the other person a clear target. So it's meant to keep your shoulders down. But with the baton, you can crank it and use it like a motorcycle handle. You're able to turn it like this, and it tightens the arms to the body, so that way you become one unit. Everything's all solid from the base all the way up. Start from kinetic chain. Start from the feet and work all the way up the body. Man. And then little things with the neck bracing and whether to keep your chin. You never want to keep your chin completely out. Like, hey, here I am, saluted. Go ahead and hit me. But you want to have a solid straight look all the way across, and then be able to adjust so that way your chin. The closer your chin is to your chest, the safer you'll be. Because the hand has to kind of glance under and get there. And this is the button. 100%, this is the button. You hit anywhere in this area with a solid thud, it's gonna put people out.
Yeah. Is there so like with other sports like endurance training or like bulking, is there any type of like specific regimen that differentiates this kind of sport?
Overall, general fitness.
Yeah.
You just go out there and you do your regular, 3 days out of the week, you do backs and buys, back and tries. You just have a normal regular setup. Dieting is always good for you too. Always staying in that weight range of wherever because it's the same thing as the UFC. They have weight classes. You have super heavyweight, you have heavyweight, you have light heavyweight. It's the same exact thing. So
I see.
when it comes to that aspect, you gotta just train like an athlete. Train like an athlete and just do the exact same thing. But you can be the best thing about this sport is that it's introduced for people that don't have that type of athletic background to be able to get in and actually just have your shot. Be able to get some kind of light in there. But now it's since the sport's been around in 2021, it's transitioned to where people are actually being more athletic. There's people that have an MMA background, have all this that they can build off of, or
Yeah.
even just already come into the game already strong. So
How has your like life transformed since you've become like a professional
so
athlete?
much,
Yeah.
so much. I mean, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be slapping somebody for money. This was not a thing for me.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted. I mean, it's the Hawaiian boys like dream
Yeah.
to be in the UFC and be able to compete like that.
Yeah.
But then I just never, to be honest, I just never had the discipline to be like, okay, I got to train every single day. I got to do this. I got to do this.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard for me to get to that point of like, this is where my life is dedicated to doing this, you know,
Yeah.
not pushing so hard. And then now Power Slap comes along and it gives that open door where it's
Yeah.
like you got the regular Joe that can go in there, you got an athlete that can go in there and actually, you know, showcase some kind of skill and then, you know,
And
practice.
compete
Yeah.
at a professional
The-
level.
I think the biggest one for me is mindset.
Yeah.
You know, and just being able to go out there because it's a defenseless sport. You
Yeah.
have to put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
You have to give them the shot. You have to put your face out there, and you got to stand there and you got to watch,
Yeah.
and that's it. You know, it's like there's nothing else more to it except surrendering it over. You know,
Yeah.
you're just kind of giving everything out there, and hopefully you make it through that one brace with all the small techniques you have.
Yeah.
And then, you know, be able to, you know, counteract and have that ability to be able to deliver the hand too. You know?
So you said mindset. How does mindset play into it? Like what like keeps your mindset strong?
It's big for me. I mean, I try to stay as focused as much as possible. I try to just expand everything. So like I said, at this point I have an obsession.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking about, okay, what's the next technique? What's the next move? How is this he's gonna come out and attack me? The same thing if you're
Yeah.
going in an MMA fight and the guy's a good jiu-jitsu guy. You know,
Yeah.
you got to think about, okay, well, how do I get my ground game solid? How do I my defense where he's gonna try to do a shoot or a takedown?
Right.
I got to figure out my way out there. So it's the same thing, you know, the less technicality from, you know, the MMA world, but
Yeah.
I mean, still you got to think and keeping a solid, good mindset out there because it's not just the physical side of it too. Once you
Yeah.
get out there and you experience a crowd, you experience people. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's watching at this moment.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to be able to experience it off of the season where we didn't have a crowd.
Yeah.
You know, we're out there and there's 4 people watching.
Yeah.
And that's it. So now, you know, with time, with experience, with everything else built up, now you
Yeah.
get that nervous jitters that you
Yeah.
have every time that you're going to step up there. You know, it's like public speaking.
Yeah.
You're going to go and you know, you're going to have to you know, stand in front of a whole crowd and
Yeah.
talk to people.
Yeah.
It's the same jitters. You know, you're going to get the same thing.
So is there like what are like some, you know, physical routines you do like you train? What are some like mental training aspects that you do to keep your like mind sharp or like your mentality? and
Meditation.
mindset? Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Huge.
Nice.
Huge. I mean, being able to stay calm in a chaotic environment.
Yeah.
Being able to shut everything out, and I honestly at this point I don't see a crowd. I don't see anybody.
Yeah.
I am locked in. I'm visualizing everything before
No
I
way.
even go out and do the whole entire experience. The walkout and being able to go on the stage.
Yeah.
I'm doing this stuff 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning in my backyard. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Right, and she's just like, "What is he doing out there?
At 3 in the morning?
How come he hasn't come in?" And like, because it gets into your head, you know.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, if I think of a good thought and a good idea, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna practice. So 2 o'clock in the morning, those are when the good thoughts come in. Like, oh, okay. Hey, you know what? I gotta go outside and I gotta do the whole walkout.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself. I'm in my backyard and
Yeah.
I'm just like doing the walkout, waving, shaking hands, doing all this stuff, and nobody's there.
Yeah.
And I think that's key. You got to
Heck
be able to
yeah.
visualize the win, what you're going to do, how you're going to react
Hell
to
yeah.
things. And then that shuts out everything. You don't have to worry about the people in the crowd. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about anything else except just going up there and doing
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
You already practiced it. You
That's
already know how
it.
it's gonna play out.
That's it. The routine is there. Now you just got to execute. That's all it is.
That's incredible, bro. So do you do like any forms of traditional meditation, like outside of that? Like,
No. Just basic. Just trying to keep myself in a calm state of mind, knowing
Yeah.
that there's something outside that is just kind of pushing on you. There's
Yeah.
things there's factors. You know, it gets to you when you start looking out in the crowd. Oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that guy. Oh, those are influencers. Oh no,
Yeah.
I gotta do good.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
it's like
much pressure,
You
huh?
gotta kill that.
Yeah.
You got to kill that. Everybody, no matter what, on this level or this level, you're
Yeah.
still human, you know?
100%.
You just got to go out there and perform and just be
Yeah.
the best version of yourself. And that's a big thing for me. It's just always trying to practice to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, man. I live by that. That's all you could do, dude. Just try your hardest, and do the best you can. Like, get a little bit better every single day.
That's it. 1%.
And you'll get there. 1%. Even that, it's like, it's wild. So we'll pivot a little bit. You're from Hawaii. What part of Hawaii?
I'm from Oahu.
Oahu. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Born and raised. Lived on the North Shore all my life.
What?
All the way up to 25, and then made the shift and moved to San Diego.
Got to stay by ocean.
Of course. And I'm not trying to get in no tornadoes, and no anything else outside of the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother was in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
And he was able to, find a wife.
Yeah.
Have kids.
Yeah.
And made the transition. Shifted my whole mom, my dad, everybody out here. My sister still lives back home in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And she got married. She has kids too. So
Nice.
she's rooted.
Yeah.
So she is not
She's
leaving
not
that island for
yeah.
nothing. So she's going to stay there for the rest of her life,
Yeah.
And then my brother just thought it was a great opportunity for us to get off the island.
Yeah.
You only have so many things that you can do out there.
Yeah.
Whether you're a truck driver,
Right.
construction worker. And at these times, growing up, we didn't have that. I didn't have that mind of, oh, wow, you can make money online, selling things and doing all these other stuff. And it wasn't like that. It's labor intense work. And that's just what it is. So the opportunity to be able to come out to San Diego and California and just live a completely different life outside of, living on an island and kind of getting that feeling, of just like, I'm stuck here for the rest of my life. I'm stuck here. This is what we do. It's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
It's paradise, and you've got a lot of families. Like, one thing about the Hawaiian culture is that we've got like 20 deep, 30 deep. Everybody's family. Even if you're not family, you're an auntie, you're an uncle, you're a cousin, somehow, some way down the line. So, I mean, that's a big thing, was just trying to make the transition to be able to, get outside of the box and start growing.
Yeah. So, did you meet your wife in San Diego or on the island?
In San Diego.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and this is during the time when I was running all the UFC gyms.
Oh, okay.
So around 2016, we were able to, she has a mutual friend, and she was actually bringing fighters to come in and train and use the octagon for one of the UFC gyms that we had in Spring Valley. And my good friend, Derek Cruz, he's running that place at the time. He's doing the management, but he's doing everything. He's doing the classes. He's teaching. He's a one-man shop. He's just one-stop shop for him.
Yeah.
And now I get back into it, and I'm running the UFC gym, and he's like, hey, you know what, brother? Look, I'm going to give up all reins to you. I just want to train people.
Yeah.
And you can be the general manager of the club, dude.
Oh,
I really
nice.
don't care. I just want to go back into the training aspect.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's, the MMA world is very, very small, so everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And Derek knows my wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, and knows her best friend, Carrie Vera, and was like, oh, okay, well, she's going to be coming in, and she's going to be doing this, thing with one of the other fighters that are going to be there. It's like, I'm gonna bring her in too.
Yeah.
You need to meet her. And I'm like, at that time I was hustling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really need to meet
I don't
nobody.
need anybody.
Not at this time. And she also had that same idea too. Like, when she saw me and finally got to meet me, she was like, I don't need to know that guy. It was like too good for him. But we thought the same thing about each other.
Yeah.
And then she was doing something like virtual reality at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm a big, scary looking dude. So it's like, man, this would be amazing if we could get this guy to like sit down, put the VR on, and just put him through some scary stuff, and he just scared. So it would have been good for content. So at that moment, I just was like, okay, well, let's exchange numbers. That was on my end. Let's exchange numbers. Let's find out what's going on. And we made the transition. We were able to hang out. We able to hang out a lot more and talk a little bit, and that was it. That was all she wrote. I pulled my little sly ones in there. She had a little bit of, I don't know how to say it, but back issues. She was going, some little back issues at the time, and I was like, oh wow, okay. It's like, something wrong with your back while we were in the gym. Something's wrong with your back? Oh yeah, I have slip disc, all this other stuff. She's just giving me the whole rundown, and I'm like, oh okay. And
I'm a masseuse.
Okay? Like 2 days, 3 days before meeting her, I'm literally like going to this little small hole-in-the-wall massage place that's right there, right around the corner. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's get my massage. Oh, that girl's good. Sounds good. Then I meet her. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, let's see if this works, right? Yeah. She's got back problems. I got the solution. Yeah, I got the solution. And then I'm talking to her, and I'm not really selling up the massage therapist. Like, oh yeah, she does a really good job. I just met her 2 days ago. You know, she does a really great job. She'll be able to fix all that stuff. So I set up the date, and we go in there, and it's set up for a couples massage. And that was the mind blower right there. She was like, "Oh, I don't think I should be here. I need to get out of this place real quick," you know. And I was like, "No, you'll enjoy it. You enjoy it." But I was already on my path. I was going to the back. I knew where the room was. I took the clothes off. I'm sitting there, and it's like, "Come on, let's go." And she's like, "There's no way I'm doing this." And it's like, "You enjoy it. Just come on," you know. And it's like, and so she rolled, you know, the icebreaker right there.
Yeah. Any kids?
I do, yeah. I have a son. His name is King, and he's 6 years old. I also have a daughter that she's like 16, going on 17.
What?
Yeah, and she lives in Florida currently right now.
Man.
Yeah, so we were able to build the legacy, you know.
Nice,
and just have,
bro. That's incredible.
Have a beautiful, I shouldn't say beautiful, but handsome son. Handsome son.
Yeah.
He's a character, you know.
When I met my wife, she wasn't feeling me either. It took a while for me. I tried to kiss her 3 different times, and she was like,
the dodge.
Dodge, what are you talking about? I was like, now, you know, we've been married for 7 years, so I think it worked. She was playing her games.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's all good. Yeah, that's incredible. I think family is important. I think, you know, family is what gives like a man like true power. You know, it's like to have everyone supporting you and you be able to support them. I think that's what like really gives you purpose and power. And so if you have,
I wasn't a firm believer in God and faith and all the other stuff and all my life, you know, and just my family talked about going to church and being about it, but we just never was into it. And it wasn't until I met my wife.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I met her that it really like opened up the doors. And this was like meeting her, being able to, you know, being introduced to faith and introduced to God. And I still had my, you know, doubts about how things run and how things operate. And it wasn't until like 2022, 2023 where we really like made that transition of like, okay, you know, we gotta involve God in our life to be able to start making things work. And if you don't, just opening up all those doors that's been closed for so long, you know, you really open up your mind. So she was able to introduce, you know, going to church again, and it's been such a blessing to be able to, you know, go. We go to a church that's right down the street from our house. It's called Oasis Church in San Diego, and they've just been a blessing for us. I get teary. Sorry.
No, you're good, bro.
Yeah, it's different.
I love it.
Different.
I mean, my wife and her family are Jewish. We don't like do any like, you know, traditional ways of worship or anything. Kind of sometimes like the Jewish culture, but I think it's all about just love and positive energy. You know what I mean? If you could just put that into the universe and be happy and spread positive energy and do all things with love and help one another, I think that's what, like, you know, connection to God is really. You know, and everyone has their different practices, every, you know, religion or every institution, but I think that's what it ultimately comes down to, is just like positive energy and having faith, you know what I mean, in your desired outcome. And God, you know, the universe, it like unlocks things for you. It shows up. God will show up for you when you're in line with, you know, your purpose. When you're
perfect word to use. Is alignment.
Yeah, all kinds of things.
I mean, my wife was that person for me. I mean, I think the man up there was already kind of pushing and making this the way it is. No matter how it happened, it was already coming this way. Because, I mean, now I'm in Power Slap. Now I'm doing all these things. And she was already in this world. Yeah. She was already in the MMA world. She's been doing this for 19, 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, we were meant to be.
Yeah.
We were meant to be. We were meant to be right here in this moment, in this time, doing exactly what we're doing right now and just kind of growing together and really looking forward towards the future of what Power Slap has to offer, what the world has to offer, you know, and really just pushing forward. So, you know, keeping faith very strong and just believing in the not seeing, right? You can't see it. It's not there, but you just got to have faith and you got to believe in what's going on.
100%. And that's a great like point for people that maybe aren't in a relationship or anything. I think that when you're in your purpose, when you're in a line and you're doing what you know you need to be doing, like true to your heart, then the partner will show up for you. Because it's similar for my wife. Like we weren't looking for each other or anything. But I do, you know, I own a media company. I do content. At the time I was just like a videographer, photographer, and she was doing her like, you know, modeling and media and her stuff. And we just happened to like synchronized, like, right, we were just going in the same direction, and then you met each other and kept going on that direction, and so our paths were aligned. Like you said, it's just you were in alignment, and it was like meant to be. You were on your purpose. But I think it's when you're not on your purpose, right, and you're doing things outside of God's will or whatever, like you're not in alignment with yourself. Usually there's a lot of turmoil or like confusion or like not a clear path, and when you're distracted and confused, I don't think you could really find anything of substance, you know, and people are just lost, and hurt people, and it's just in that whole realm of reality. But I think if you just break it down to the simplest things, and like you said, just get clarity, meditate, shed everything, and just see where you want to go. Like, it doesn't matter. Everyone's purpose is different. Someone could want to be a chef or a cook or like, a truck driver. Like, everyone's purpose is unique. So once you get clear and you just go on that, I think that everything else reveals itself to you, you know, through God or the universe or whatever you choose to believe in, your understanding with higher power. Yeah.
And it's brought me close to a lot of other people too. We've been able to create the family, so just everybody that like just operates and thinks the same way, does the same things, and just like it just falls all into place. We were able to meet so much incredible people along this journey of Power Slap and everything else. I mean, I got a new sister in my life, Jackie. That's my big sis right there. Yeah. It's like, even though we're the same age almost, like couple days, few weeks. But that's my sister right there. Yeah. I was able to meet Isaiah. Isaiah is, was the current middleweight champion, but he's gonna get it back again. Yeah. And it's like, and those are the people that we really just build relationships with, and really show love to, because they love us. Unconditionally. It's not. There's nothing tied to it, and meet other people like my boy Sean. Sean has been a inspiration to me, and seeing how he's been able to grow his company, and now we've made that connection to where now we're under full scope management. We're doing our thing, and trying to provide the family feel, the family aura for all the people within Power Slap, because they weren't getting these things. Yeah. They weren't having these opportunities. They weren't able to do all these things. They don't have the outlet to be able to do any kind of events, being able to get in front of a camera. Yeah. It's like that's big nowadays, and it's like, and even outside of that, just being able to have a connection where somebody cares about me. Somebody's out there really looking out for me at all points and times, and we were able to do all that stuff and be able to get together with every single person, and it's just growing. The team's growing, man. We're 10, 12 deep, and we're going to continue to keep on growing. Let's go. It's going to be big for us. It's going to be big for us, for
that sure. That kind of like leads into the next question I was going to ask you. Like, what's the future kind of look like for you in Power Slap or in business, or like?
Well, we here right now. That's it. This is the future. It's the growth. Yep. Yeah. It always takes that first step to get into it, and then after that, it's just follow. Yeah. Follow the light. Follow the light. Where the light takes you, just keep on going, and that's what it is for us. We want to give everybody. When I was on the season, my first initial thought was to just be the champion. Yeah. Take the title. Who cares, dude? Don't care about nobody else. Don't care about what everybody else is doing. Just get that win, get that title under your belt, and then everybody's gonna know you. Yeah. And then when I was able to go and be on the season and really experience other people that were just like me, just random Joes, just coming in trying to make something with their life. Yeah. I was able to see that opportunity to be able to give them all the little things that they needed, all the little nitpick things that could help them grow in life. And it was because I went through all the experiences myself. Yeah. Having all those hard times and the turmoils and all the things going, and you just don't make good decisions. Yeah. Good choices. And now, being on the season, able to see that in other people and be able to help them. Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you just stop doing this and this, you're gonna be okay, brother. Yeah. So now it's the gift of giving back to people is the most important thing. That's it's incredible. Not being number one in the world. It's not doing that, but it's creating a mass movement, so that way we'd be able to help every single person grow. As all of us grow and all of us become successful and succeed in life. Yeah. I mean, it's in numbers, man. You can really create a different type of movement when you're doing it in numbers like that. So
that's incredible, brother. So that you kind of sparked a question. It's like, along your journey, what has been like some of the major adversities that you had to overcome to kind of get to where you're at now?
I mean, I've done it all, man. I've had addictions. I mean, I'm still low key trying to get out of my addiction with gambling. So it's good that we're not here. You know, it's like we're right here in Las Vegas. It's kind of hard, but I mean, I do have a unhealthy addiction with gambling.
What do you like to play?
Oh, baccarat.
Oh, really? I like craps.
Baccarat. Craps is good. I started off with craps, you know, and like backyard style.
Yeah.
Hawaii, you know, they have chicken fighting. They have crap games. They have card games. They have all this underground stuff, you know. And when I moved here to California or to the mainland, I mean, it just opened up more doors because now it's legit. You can go into a building and do all these things, you know. And it's like, and nobody's gonna come over there and try to rob you. And nobody's gonna try to take your money. So I had those types of things going on, and then, you know, just having the things with like family past and all the other stuff. You know, I come from a very, I don't know, I'd say violent background. Hawaiians and the culture and just the islander culture. And, you know, a lot of the times we're very, very peaceful people. But we live in chaos, you know. You get a little bit of alcohol in us and we start ripping down doors and breaking things and doing all kind of things. And it's just, it's an excitement for us. And at that moment, it's like, you know, being introduced to a lot of like domestic violence and stuff early in my age and seeing it around all the time. And then it becoming part of my lifestyle where I'm always violent and I want to be angry and I'm doing all these other things. And it took a lot to just, you know, I'm still doing the recovery from that. Still trying to break all those things down. But it's definitely a lot less than what it was before. You would have met me when I was 16, 17, 18. I was running amok. I was in and out of, you know, juvie and, you know, being locked up for a while. And just it was just not worth it, you know. And realizing that now, it's like, man, could have lived a better life if I just made the right choices. You know, it's like, it doesn't have to be where you're tied to the family bond of things happen in your family. So now you got to go do it too to other people. You know, it's like, nah, you got to break the cycle. You got to break the chains. And, you know, I'd like to say that I'm the first one or the second one to really break that chain, you know, and like just keep on falling in the same cycle again. And it's opened up so much things for me where it's like, oh man, I know how to try to deal with a lot of that anger, try to deal with a lot of that. Just put it away, lock it up in a box and just drop it over here for now because, you know, I want to see myself succeed in life. And I'm not going to do it by doing all these other things, you know. So.
And I mean, it's okay to, you know, you're a warrior, like you go to war, you know, for a living, like, so, and it's okay to channel it in a healthy way. But like you said, it's like when it comes to be able to process it and not, I think a lot of us, we get into that, you know, I came from a similar background and it's like self-destruction. It's not like, you know, you don't know how to channel it or direct it. It's just like fucking destroy everything around you, you know? It's just like lightning.
It's already broken, so what? I can just keep on breaking it.
Dynamite,
it's not going to do nothing
keep
different.
Blowing it up. But once you start to like channel it and contain it and like direct it in a positive way, like that same force and energy is kind of like why you continue to train and self-develop and, you know, are doing this at a professional level. And so I think it's healthy, like, you know, your background and the stuff that you went through to generate those, like, it's like a power, right? Like to generate, to have that core power inside of you, but now using it for a positive, you know, manner, you are able to influence people and help people and be, you know, of service to God or however you want to word it. So I think that's really honorable, like commendable. That like you seem, based off this energy, is like you seem at peace. So that you've had to do a lot of work inside of yourself to be able to hold this peace, even just like in this conversation, you know.
I always wanted, and you know, I'm not gonna say that, but I've always had help. My mom, she loves me, she cares about me, you know, just like any mother would.
Right.
And you know, I was adopted at an early age, you know, so my mom is not my real mom, you know, they're my aunt and uncle, and my real mom, them live on Big Island, and I went through some things that, you know, would shake anybody up at an early age like that, you know, just finding out that you're adopted and going through things and I just saw it as an opportunity to be able to just try to change everything, because the help that I want or I wanted, now I'm able to provide that to other people that also want the same kind of help. They're going through the same things. They're going through the same stuff. And man, just being a counselor for them, you know, hey man, I can talk you through this. I can help you with certain things, you know. I can't help with everything. You know, and he's like, I need you to put effort too. You know, it's not, you're not going to gain anything from just me telling you what to do. You need to put the hard work in too as well. You know, you're going to have to want to help
Yeah.
build yourself and change
Yeah.
yourself. Because if you don't want the change, then I can tell you every day that you can do it, but
Yeah.
you're not going to change it if you don't want it.
Yeah, I tell my guys too. It's like I'm gonna always show up for you, but you need to show up for you too. Like I'll do my part. I'll be here for you, but you have to show up for you too. Like, because if you don't show up for you, like, you know, nothing's gonna change for you. Like, I'll show up for you, but you need to meet me here. Like, you just need to meet me at the same place,
Right.
and we'll keep going down the road. Like,
Correct.
you know.
And then outside of, just like it being family love.
Yeah.
Like love from my mom. My mom always had love for us. So it's like, okay, she's always taking care of us. She's always, that's her duty as a mom, right?
Yeah.
It's like just to make sure that her kids grow up the right way. And then just being able to want to do that for other people and just try to see like, hey man, look, I've always wanted the same help you're asking for. I've wanted that all my life, outside of my mom. I didn't have that kind of, outlet for anything. So it's like now being able to be that conduit for other people.
Yeah.
Just be able to teach other people.
Just like leading by example, right? Like for me, again, I grew up in turmoil, a lot of uncertainty and like negative energy and just stuff like that. But all I ever wanted was like just a family, like a home, like, like a good home to be at. And now like I'm able to provide that for my family, right? Like we have a safe, secure, loving, happy, healthy house. And I just am able to lead by example. Like I don't, it's not like I'm going out like trying to save everyone, but anyone that I come into contact, it doesn't matter who it is, like the grocery clerk, the gas station guy, like I'm just putting out positive energy. And if they ask for help, I'll give them help. But it's like to your point, it's you can't force somebody to change. Like they have to want to help, and then I'll meet you there. Like, I'll meet you there. But I just stopped trying to change people, because it's like, arrogant from a man's perspective to think that you could change somebody. Like they have to want to change.
Right.
They have to want to be, and then you could help. But if not, it's just like throwing, you're never going to.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah, that's the saying. But it's okay. I mean, I my dad, he was super like, this guy is, I mean, I have a lot of love for him. He showed me a lot of things, but super just shot out, right? Like drugs, alcohol, whole life, in and out of jail. Like we were bouncing around a lot. And I tried so hard to change him. Like I thought I could change him until I finally just realized, like, he's just how he is, and you just have to love them for where they are. Like it doesn't mean that it's healthy for him to be in my life regularly, but like you love him there and love him for where he's at and who he is, and just like accept it for that. Like, but I'm not going to have him close to me all the time or show like my daughter his negative patterns, so it's like,
yeah, my son every day before he goes to school, he has to listen to this song called Boundaries. And it literally is like, boundaries, you don't touch, don't do this, you keep your hands to yourself. And it's like, I mean, outside of that, it's real. It's like sometimes you have to create some kind of boundaries,
Yeah, just healthy boundaries,
Yeah,
protect your peace and protect your family. Like when I was by myself, it was fine, but now I have a family that I'm responsible for, like, and so now it's like I have to make sure they're good at all costs outside of everything,
Of course, prioritize.
Yeah, for sure. Come first. So, what are you excited about now, man?
Man, slapping somebody in the face on Friday.
On Friday, taking home a trophy. What do they give out?
Well, this is a rematch in the making. I've battled this guy on the season. He was my second match in. I did really good on my first one, but the second one I was at a disadvantage. I was a little sick. I didn't have all my main weapon. So when I was on the season, I actually faced off with my left hand, my non-dominant hand.
No way.
Because I broke my own pinky.
How?
I punched my hand during a whole like, let me be all macho. Oh, cameras. Okay, let's do it. Boom. I hit the inside of my pinky. This thing was a noodle for the rest of the time.
No way. You were just like that? Like that's it? That's how you broke it?
During the combine, yeah. So they have a combine where they test your neck stress test, and they do a power cube, so to test your strength, right?
Yeah.
And did the neck stress test, and you'd have never thought I would have broke my finger on that one. But I get up, and you got the highest score. What? Camera. Boom. Yeah.
Broken.
No.
So silly.
And then
man, that's
what you said is
like,
how you battle all those adverse moments. Well, that's an adverse moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm grabbing onto my hand. I'm looking around. I'm like, man, okay, what do I do next?
In front of the cameras and everything.
If they see me, if they see this, they're going to send me home. Pono, you just got to figure this out now. What do you do? Okay, everybody, we need you guys to line up on the power cube. Come over here. And I got a hit now. I didn't even get to hit yet. I got to hit now.
You broke your pinky before.
Before I even get to hit.
Oh my god.
So I line up in the left line, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to whack with my left hand, and somebody catches me. They're like, hey, you're right hand dominant, right? Yeah. Well, we need those numbers. We need that right hand. Oh, okay. Why are you standing in the left-handed line? Get over here. Jumped in.
No way.
I was probably second. Well, now because I try to skim it and hide, right? And it's like now I'm like second to last, and I'm one of the bigger dudes on the show.
Yeah.
So everybody's waiting for what does this guy have to deliver?
No
we
way.
want to see
with the pinky.
I whacked it with the pinky already a noodle.
No.
I was like, okay, and I hit my hand behind. I was like, one, boom, and I hit it. It didn't have a high score. Probably had like 30,000. And I put my hand down and I walk away like, that was it. It was nothing. And everybody's looking like, damn, he didn't deliver a lot of power. He must be holding back. They put me in the house. They gave me a microphone. I was able to, actually do the rest of that show.
Yeah.
And 3 days in, a producer catches me. I'm washing dishes. I'm doing all my duties. I'm cleaning, vacuuming, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And he catches me washing dishes. He goes, let me see that hand. I'm like, yeah, okay. And he's like, dude, your finger is broken. It's purple, top to bottom. You're going to the emergency right now.
No way.
They loaded me in the van. They took the travel person with us. And it's like, this is it. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, this is it. They're gonna go, they're gonna see that it's broken. They're gonna send me back home. I wasted my whole entire time, my one chance to just do something different in my life.
Yeah.
And it's gone. And
Man.
then on the ride back, she's like, okay, here's your check. Here's this. I'm writing out your travel. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You're sending me home? It's like, yeah. I'm like, you can't battle with the right hand. Yeah, but I got my left hand. I got two hands. Oh, you can hit with that thing? Fuck yeah, I can. And I was lying out my teeth. I never swung. I mean, I have general power. Right hand, left hand, doesn't matter, right? I'm overall, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that I have to try to deliver accuracy with this thing. I mean, this thing is just a rocket firework, I'll hit somebody in the eyes, in the neck. I don't know where it's going to go. So I told him, like, yeah, of course I hit with my left hand. So they put me back in the house.
What?
And the first guy I battled, he's a personal trainer. He's bigger than me. He's taller than me. He's stronger than me. And I smoke him.
Nice. With the left hand?
With the left hand.
With the lefty.
The first one I clubbed him because it was a firework. I told you, right? It's kind of finding its way to home. And I end up clubbing him. He eats it. I get a little bit nervous. I'm like, okay, now I got to go back. I got to take one. And then I got to be able to hit him again. If I take that one.
Yeah.
I get back in that thing. He hits me. And he has this weird launching, just like, if I had to put it into sound, it sounded like the roller coaster clicking to go all the way up. It's that tick, 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 tick.
His shoulder was clicking? Or?
In my mind.
Like
in my mind. While he's moving his hand, I'm like, he's just clicking. Ding, 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 ding. And I'm looking and it's like, then he stops like almost midway. What? I still can see his hand. Shoop, boom, hits me. And I'm like, wow. That woke me up. Oh, you're dead, dude. I'm going back. You're fucked. And I go back and I chalk up and I'm ready. Like, you are gone. I'm gonna end you. And I go out there and I execute. I'm chaotic, but then I think and I level and I'm like, okay, put my hand up, get my edge on him, lean all the way across, come all the way back and send it.
Bow.
I hit him and he's out. He's out. He's laid on the floor. And I'm celebrating and I'm cheering and he's still out. And I'm like, okay, that was it. We're done with this one. We got that one out of the way. Relieved. Now we know that the left hand can do work.
Let's go. We're still on the show.
Now and the show is so short, even though they stretch it out for a 3-month term, every single week they put out an episode. The show is done in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So now I got to battle somebody else in like 4 days.
Oh, shit.
5 days. And I got to recover. Well, not only did I be a dumbass and broke this one, I have a reverse Bennett fracture on this one after I hit old boy.
No fucking way.
So now I have to hit the second dude with the reverse Bennett fracture on this hand. I had two broken hands, brother.
David Goggins.
Call me the guy, right? Yeah, right, David Goggins. So I'm like, okay, I got to go out there. And when I hit him, this guy has a chin. That's his nickname is the Iron Chin. So I hit him, and he eats that first one, but it doesn't look like he did. He looked like he was shook, and he was. I mean, he told me after, that it's like
that was hard.
You had power, bro, in that left hand, even though you didn't. You thought you didn't. And go out there. I had to take one from him. I deliver the next hit. He wobbles, and I'm over there yelling in the background. It's like, wobble, wobble, baby boy. I got
You got
you.
pissed?
I got you. And I was like, I saw a shift in those eyes. His name is James. I was like, I saw a shift in those eyes, James. And he looks back, and it would make good for good TV because he looks back at me after he's all wobbled. He's like, I saw a shift in your eyes too. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
You guys are talking shit?
Talking shit. So, hey, let's go and take this hit then. I go out there and I take the hit, but I'm not ready for it. And he tags me. I get clipped. I fall to the ground. I'm knocked out. I'm laying there, one hand in a blue cast. Now I don't have the little finger. I got a cast on, and my cast, I'm over there reaching like this, and I'm like, oh no. And they allow me, because being different as somebody different on the show.
Yeah.
They allow me to get back up and just kind of sit down in the chair and do the rest of the show of like, okay, well, now he has to go out there and go talk and tell everything else. And I gave it to him. I said, you know what? I don't want to leave no excuses. I went out there and he got the best of me tonight.
Yeah.
He's like, but the main thing for me is that I won, and everybody at that moment, you win by life lessons. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
That was it. Now this time around, I get the rematch, and now I learned from
You're
my
about to show
lessons.
him-
Oh, I'm gonna show him what the right hand has. That's it. That's it.
So you go home like after you get knocked out, or you just like finish the season? Or?
That was the end. That was my second match. So you only have
okay.
2 matches during the
Okay,
season.
okay.
So after that one, not having that one as a W for me, sent me home, and I thought it was done. Telling my wife, man, I didn't really do what I was supposed to do. Oh, okay. It's like, well, what are you thinking? What's gonna happen next? And it's like, I don't know. And you start to get in your head.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen now. They might never call me back.
Yeah.
They placed me number 8 in the world.
No way.
They made me number 8, and I was like, I told my wife Marissa, I was like, man, they fucking made me number 8. It's like, dude, they shouldn't have done that. There's more people that perform better than me.
Yeah.
That actually won the show. They should be placed there. But they have an idea of what they want to see and what they want to what they want to promote in the sport, and they put me at number 8. And then December, I was able to face off against Cooper Housley, which was number 5 in the world.
Yeah.
And the right hand was good. Smoked him. and he got to hit me first.
Yeah.
And they called me for flinching on the first hit. So when old school rules, flinching you get 2. So I got hit with the first one. They called me for flinching. They said, okay, hit him again.
Oh, word.
I got hit twice.
Oh.
And then I wasn't even mad at him. I was mad at the ref. I was like, dude, you call me for flinching? Okay, watch what I'm going to do to this guy. I came back out. I did my prayer to God. Said, man, you're with me all the time, every day, all the time. Just send me back out there and make me put him down. And he sent me right back out there like a soldier that I am.
Let's
be
go.
able to whack him in the face and put him down. Probably the most viral knockout for that PS10. That was PS10.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and put him down, and that was it. I mean, good people. In the sport, you're gonna run into a lot of like kind people. You're gonna run into a lot of weirdos and characters, but you meet a lot of good people in this sport, and he was one of them. And just learn from all these experiences and become better and better and better. 1% better every day. Man.
Let's go.
That's
so
it.
how many matches do you get like a year?
So events usually happen every 2 months.
Oh, okay.
During the seasons, they will they'll stretch it out for 3 months, so you won't even have a match during when the season is actually active. So every 2 months you probably get a match, and if you're very entertaining and you're good out there and you're able to deliver, they'll place you in more events than anything. But other than that, it's like sometimes you get one call now and you won't get one for another 4 months, 6 months down the line.
Really?
Yeah, there's a big gap because they have a lot of people on the undercards that people are coming up in the sport. They want to fill those. They have people that are already there. They want to fill those.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're not on that level of like entertainment, they might not give you a call back for a while. So you have to sit on the back burner and just kind of wait, and just all you can do is just train and hope and pray that they give you that call on the
And
next
just
one.
be ready.
That's it. Just be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready so that you stay ready so that way you don't have to be ready.
Yeah. How's it like as far as the business? I don't know.
Get ready.
Is it like UFC where they give you like fight contracts or like they? I don't know how it works.
Yeah. So I mean, they give you a contract. When I was on the season, it was 30 months or 6 fights, whichever one comes first.
Oh, okay.
And that's just how everybody generally starts off in the sport, and then from there, then it's growth. They do re-signs. After you get so many matches under your belt, they'll bring it back where you extend the contract and do everything
Yeah.
else. So I mean, it's just like the UFC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So have you done already six matches or?
This is going to be number 5.
Oh, okay. So you're coming up to.
Yeah, so I'm
yeah.
2-2 record now. 2 wins, 2 losses, and then this is going to be the 5th one.
We're gonna add a dub. Another.
Of course, 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2.
I'm already past this.
Yeah,
we're looking
Yeah.
for the next jump, and
Jeez.
it's to really just get some other things knocked out of the way. There's some people on the line that we got to take care of,
Yeah.
and then after that, just chase the title.
Yeah,
Go
how's
for the
it?
title.
So is that how it works? Like, so what's next is just like getting to the title. Like, that's the pinnacle of this sport.
Yep, holding a title and being able to and then be reigning, hold that title for quite some time. You've got champions out there that are holding the belt for over a year plus, and that's the overall goal in this sport. It's just to show that you're the best in the world. Being able to go out there and deliver a slap any time of day, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter size, doesn't matter what it is. You just go out there and you deliver, and just being the best.
Let's go, bro! I can't believe you had 2 broken hands, man. Going into the, that's crazy.
Yep, and a head full of thoughts.
Oh,
just
man,
like what's
I can only
going on. But you
imagine.
gotta kill them. You gotta cancel them out sometimes. And
man.
all those adverse moments, they've helped me build and grow, man.
Yeah, that's like so crazy. I broke my wrist in 2023, and then I broke my toe last year, and I can imagine doing sports like with the broken parts of the body.
Right. How you gonna you play soccer but you have a broken ankle? It's like how you gonna keep going? How you gonna keep on playing? So
that's crazy. Have you read the David Goggins book, the like Can't Hurt Me?
No, I haven't. But I mean, I see all his videos. I see all the stuff he does. He's
a fucking gangster.
Psychotic, bro.
Yeah, in the story,
that's a SEALs training though.
Yeah, he's fucking gangster. But in the story, he like broke both of his feet, and he had to like wrap them and like run like 100 miles with broken feet or some shit like that. Like, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, that's what it reminded me. I was like, that's insane. I've never met a real warrior like that.
Outside of the physical realm, it's in your mind.
Yeah.
You tell yourself that you can do it, and you keep on telling yourself that you can do it. Sooner or later, you're gonna do it. Put your mind to it.
Yeah. So that's what's next for Pona is getting the title, holding the belt.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just moving up the ranks. Right now I'm number 5. I'll be able to face number 4
tomorrow or on Friday.
On Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I'll face number 4.
And then
James
you'll be
Seekman.
number 4.
And then I'll be number 4. If not, jump up 2 more spaces. And then from there, it's like the champion actually fights on the next card that's coming up July 18th. It's going to be in New Orleans. So
you'll be there probably?
We'll go out there. We'll fly out there just to support and all the people out there. But not as, competing on the card.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be the champion versus, whoever his opponent's going to be.
So once you go number 4, you have to face 3? Or like,
no,
how does it work?
There's no real like pecking order to how it works. It's whatever feels the most entertaining, whatever makes the most sense.
Yeah,
they'll drop you in there. Yeah, of course.
It's like boxing too, right? It's like any fighting sport.
It's like, this guy doesn't look like it's going to be a good matchup, but this fight has a little bit of heat behind it. Something's going on back there. They adjust to whatever they need to be able to make the matches, and it's been pretty exciting for the people that they've been able to face against each other up to this point.
Yeah,
and it always puts out for a good performance.
Do you have any like techniques or anything that you do while you're fighting to be like entertaining, like that you do specifically?
So I do have a few things that I do because I just started trying to think like, okay, well, how do I get those eyes on me doing something, right? There's got to be something. So I do have like my whole entry point when I'm standing in front of the person. I raise my hands up. I put my hands out to the side. I'm reaching back like I'm grabbing the arrow or the bow, you know, and I pull that thing out and I drop it right on the face. And then after that, I continue through with the swing. So that's another key one that I do. Another signature move is the assassin move. So I straight across the neck, all the way across here. I try to get the silence one. So, I mean, anytime that you see me out there, that's always the first call is doing this here, pointing up to God.
Is
assassin silenced by God.
Do you guys do like press like boxing, not like?
No, but I wanted to go that route so that way we can have that more interaction. Yeah,
because then it's like something
beef and something. So like the UFC, how they have the press conference before.
Yeah, like something that could
something like that.
Yeah, maybe you could do it independently. I'm such a free thinker. I feel like there's no rules. Like, you could do anything. Like, if you and the opponent got together and you're like, hey, let's go fucking go viral. We'll just, like, pretend like we're in a restaurant and we're fucking, oh, you push each other or something. Everyone, that would be crazy.
Planned out.
Yeah. You know, just stuff like that.
But it's so raw. It's so raw with what we do here. And it's like, I mean, it's slapping somebody to knock somebody out. You know, it's like you could play this out as best as you possibly can, but at the end of the day, dude, if you can't eat this, it's gonna be
toast.
You're toast. You're done. So
that's true.
So there's gonna be, but they've introduced and now at this point, they have like NXT wrestlers that are coming in that are just like they're already born and bred into the entertainment world and they're doing it now. So it's like it's gonna bring more eyes. It's gonna just bring more views and just have a little bit more entertaining matches and things going on out there. And we gotta be pioneers in this too as well. So we gotta just start creating that same thing. Instead of the little smaller, minute things that you do and we got to get bigger. We got to get louder. We got to get crazier. Just really create the entertainment for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like the Conor McGregor and the Floyd thing, where he like threw the chair through the bus, like just shit like that. That like gets people like whoa. And again, like it could all be fabricated. It's just entertainment. That could bring a lot of like value to your brand as a
borderline prison time without really doing it.
Yeah, I mean it's all a skit, bro. It's all entertainment. Hey, this is entertainment.
That's true. It's true.
So I don't know, but yeah, that's what I would for sure do that shit. I'd be trying to push the boundaries. I feel like there's no rules. It's like I said, I always try to just do what I want to do and then figure out the consequences after. I mean, not anything illegal, but like when it comes to business,
right.
Like there's just it's funny because. And this isn't
better to ask for forgiveness, right?
Yeah,
do it first and ask for forgiveness.
Like when I deal with because I own the media company and the marketing firm, I mostly deal with like the owners or the the high level like decision makers. But when I'm like dealing with their staff, like they'll always be like, "Oh, we can't do this because of this or that," and I'm like, listen, I'll take care of it. We're going to do this. Like, just kind of like figure it out for them because there's no rules. I could call the boss and be like, hey, we're going to make a new rule. And he's going to be like, okay, cool. That's the new rule. Like, so
Right.
It's just thinking outside the box, I guess, is like what I always try to do. It's like, there's a box. Let's figure out exactly how to think opposite of that.
Correct.
So I don't know. That was my 2 cents. Well, Pona, we could sit here all freaking day.
I can. I'll tell you, I got so much information in my head.
It's been incredible. Where can people find you? What do you want to share? Anything else?
Social media, IG, Facebook, The Hawaiian Assassin, DA_Hawaiian_assassin. I'm always on it. I'm always on IG. I'm always trying to promote myself and get myself out there in front of the world. So you definitely can find me there. And then Power Slap 13.
Let's go.
Definitely find me there. June 27th,
Fontainebleau.
Time to smoke somebody.
Let's go. You heard it first. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you, brother.
You.
Thank you.